What it do, YouTube? It's your boy Bossni. We back with another video, man. I'm back with the sleeveless tee. Finna be in Dallas soon. You know what I'm saying? I'm practicing the wardrobe. I got a couple of sleeveless graphic tees. This ain't one of this. That's what I work out in. But I'm gonna pull up with the sleeveless tee and the I'm gonna let it be a surprise for the vlogs, for my niggas that watch the vlogs. This came out the shower, so if my forehead is glistening, that is why. They ain't got nothing to do with this. And then they got nothing to do with that. Today we got 13 shocking Lil Durk allegations in murder for hire investigation. Boy, I never thought I'd see the day, bro. And you know what's crazy? Alongside of this, Tory Lanez is getting a re-trial, bro. Tory Lanez might be coming home, bro. I never would have thought they would have got Durk, and I never would have thought Tory was coming to see the day of life until 2035. I would have. You could have told me this 20 times 2 years ago. I'd never believe you, bro. Can't believe it. This nigga is locked up for murder for hire. He is facing the death penalty. And I just seen today on Twitter, he is pleading not guilty. Do you know what that means? No plea. He is going to die if he gets convicted. I mean, you got to be hella sure of yourself to face the death penalty and say not guilty. That's all I'm saying, bro. So maybe he is innocent, and I'm hoping for that. And I hope he didn't kill nobody or hire nobody to kill nobody. But there are credit cards. There are transactions. These niggas been doing this shit for years. Homicide is very, 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 very intelligent people that could find anything on anybody. So I'm curious to see how this plays out. It just seems like everybody is, do you get a key to the city, bro? You're done. They hand you that key, boy, it's bad luck, bro. I'm cool off it, bro. They handed that nigga the key for 2 business days. Took that shit right back. That's crazy. Let's get straight to it, though.
Enough to know that they know what's going on, but not enough to know everything that's going on.
Lil Durk, the rapper who's been recently praised for his work in the Chicago community and his vows to move away from his checkered past, while he is accused of plotting a brutal crime. Authorities say multiple suspects opened fire on a rival's SUV in Los Angeles, but killed his cousin instead. As Lil Durk faces charges alongside his alleged hitmen, we're taking a look at some of the most shocking details in the investigation. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Durk Banks, known worldwide as Lil Durk, just turned 32 earlier this month. The rapper behind such tracks as Old Days, All My Life, Broadway Girls, he held a birthday bash concert in his hometown of Chicago to celebrate. And all looked good for the Grammy Award winner. But then, just days later, he'd be back in the headlines accused of orchestrating a murder for hire plot. See, there was an apparent feud between Lil Durk and a Georgia rapper who goes by the name Quando Rondo. The two were part of an altercation at an Atlanta nightclub in 2020 that led to Durk's friend King Von being shot and killed. Now, Atlanta police say that one of Quando Rondo's associates, Timothy Leaks, was the one who actually shot Von, although his charges were dropped. But Lil Durk allegedly believed that Rondo was really at the center of this confrontation. Well, last week, the Central District of California handed down an indictment against 5 people that they say are connected to both Lil Durk and his rap collective called Only the Family, or OTF, in connection with a retaliatory shooting because of what happened to King Von. Now, if you're looking at this and saying, why does this feel a little bit like deja vu? Well, that's because you may be an avid law and crime watcher, because some of the accusations against these men here are very similar to what Atlanta prosecutors allege in their case against Young Thug, the rapper whose real name is Jeffrey Lamar Williams. In that case, authorities maintain that Williams is the head of a gang. Williams and his attorneys insist that YSL is not a gang, it is just a record label. And that trial, which has 6 defendants, including Williams, it has been going on for nearly 2 years if you count jury selection. Doesn't seem like it's going to be over, although they kind of got a little bit of a hiccup last week. That's a whole separate situation. But by the way, I obviously talk a lot about the law here on Sidebar, but I also talk about legal rulings. I talk about legal decisions, and I have a landmark one for you right now that has just changed things in a big way, because you can now legally trade on who will win the 2024 election. Yes, it's legal, and that is...
Bro, stay on topic. What are we doing? What are we talking about right now, bro?
Because our sponsor of Sidebar, I can trade. And throughout the documents, Durk is referred to by his accuses OTF of being credit. That's Kalshi.com/sidebar. Back to this case. In an affidavit as part of this criminal complaint against Durk, an FBI agent accuses OTF of being maybe not quite a gang per se, but essentially a criminal organization. And throughout the documents, Durk is referred to by his legal last name, Banks. Just keep that in mind. So the affidavit reads, Banks is the leader of the Chicago-based rap collective known as Only the Family, or OTF. In addition to OTF's status as a rap collective, I know, based on the investigation, that OTF also acts as an association, in fact, of individuals who engage in violence, including murder and assault, at the direction of Banks and to maintain their status in OTF. For example, based on evidence collected during the investigation, including the interview of witnesses, I know that Banks put a monetary bounty out for an individual with whom Banks was feuding named TB. TB is Taekwon Bowman. That's Quando Rondo's real name. Now, there is a footnote at the bottom of that page of this affidavit that says, due to serious safety concerns, this affidavit does not provide the identity of these witnesses. Based on the FBI's investigation, I know that witnesses and or their family members have already received threats and or have been contacted in what appears to be attempts to influence their participation in this investigation. Now, that kind of reminds us of the case against rapper Sean Combs, right? Diddy, in the Southern District of New York, because two different judges have denied the entertainment mogul bond on his sex trafficking and racketeering charges, saying there was evidence of witness intimidation by Combs. Now, his legal team has denied that that was the case, and they are now appealing to the third judge overseeing this case, Judge Arun Subramanian. They are hoping that he will look at this case a little bit differently, and they are hoping that he will issue Combs bail, that he'll be allowed pretrial release, and so we'll see what ends up happening. Now, what exactly does the government say happened here in the Lil Durk case? Well, according to this FBI agent's affidavit, Durk made it known in 2020 that he was putting out a hit on Quando Rondo for his alleged involvement in King Von's death, and that 2 years later, multiple men would travel from Chicago to Los Angeles.
Wait. Time out. When did he make this known? I ain't gonna lie though. If you go back and listen to his songs, it's multiple occasions where he says he's done something, or it sounds like it, or alludes to it. But they never word for word said that. So I'm curious as to why he said what he just said.
To carry out that hit. And if you look at Durk's public interactions and recent songs, he wasn't exactly being quiet about it in the lead up to the shooting, or at least that could be what prosecutors say, because in February 2022, Durk released the song Ah-Ha, and the song's hook directly references, or seems to reference, King Von's death. Don't respond to S with Von. I'm like, F it, you trippin', go get your gun. They dropping locations, I'm getting it done. Tweeting, we sliding, the feds are coming. And just a few weeks after that track's release, motivational speaker and social media influencer Wallow spoke with Lil Durk on his podcast, $1 Million Worth of Game, and he got emotional as he talked about how he forgave the person who killed his own brother Steve, and he was warning Durk that actions, they have consequences.
And it was hard in the man. And I'm talking about this my big brother. I shared the cell with him. I shared the bed with him when we was kids. This little Steve. But I can tell you one thing. Now I'm out here taking care of his daughter, paying for her to go to school, taking care of my nephew, taking care of my mama and my grandmama.
Talk to him. Sure.
Because I forgave my brother killer, but you know, I understand. I understand what y'all going through.
But if you believe the...
Boy, that shit went through everybody ear out the other, bro. You could tell nobody wasn't recepting that. But what I'm wondering is, so when did King Von get shot? He got shot in 2020, and then Quando Rondo's cousin got shot in 2022. And he made, but I thought, okay, so he made a song, Aha, da da da, and there's other songs too. I heard one. He had Go. I think it was with Babyface. I don't know, but that song too. It's some criminal stuff in there. But it's like, I thought they can't use your music lyrics against you. That's what I thought. But they can still play it in court though. So like, I'm not getting how you can still play it in court, but they say it can't be used against you.
Prosecutors here, it seems that Wallow's advice may have gone unheeded, because indictment paperwork filed last week names the defendants in this case and names what the allegations are. So the defendants in this indictment are Kevon London Grant, DeAndre Dontrell Wilson, Keith Jones, David Bryan Lindsay, and Asa Houston. And authorities say Grant, Wilson, and Houston, they are members of OTF. The other two men, Jones and Bryan, are allegedly gang members in the Chicago area. And the indictment also names 5 co-conspirators, with Banks being one of them. In the indictment, he's referred to by his initials DB, or co-conspirator 1. And investigators say the plot to travel to L.A., to follow Quando Rondo, and eventually open fire on his SUV at a gas station, it was all funded by either OTF or Lil Durk directly. The criminal complaint against Durk says, quote, on August 18th, 2022, co-conspirator 1, again, Lil Durk, texted co-conspirator 3, don't book no flights under no names involved with me. Now, I spoke with attorney Bradford Cohen about this, and we're going to hear from him in a little bit, but 2 ways to look at that text. A, it shows that he's a part of this, or B, maybe he knew what was about to go down and was like, I don't want any part of this. You do what you need to do. I don't want to touch this whatsoever. So I'm sure that text message will play a pivotal role in this case. Now, 4 of the defendants and 1 unnamed co-conspirator, they allegedly flew to California in August of 2022, with Grant and Lil Durk allegedly following in a private jet. Grant is reportedly a top associate in OTF, appears to have been the head of this operation, given what's in the affidavit. He's the one who's accused of booking the hotels, getting the cars, buying the ski masks, finding the weapons, including a gun that has been modified to be a full-on machine gun.
Ooh, they finna get his ass. How did they know what all he bought? Don't tell me it was all on one credit card.
And accused the defendants of following Quando Rondo's black Escalade around Los Angeles. Traffic camera photos show a white Infiniti following, or seemingly following, the black Escalade until it pulls into a gas station. And the Infiniti appears to be parked behind the gas station in an alley. The indictment reads, on August 19th, 2022, at the Beverly gas station, defendants Jones and Lindsay and co-conspirator 2 used the firearms procured by defendant Grant, including the fully automatic firearm, to shoot at TB's car, striking and killing SR, who was standing next to TB's car while TB was inside. By the way, SR is Quando Rondo's cousin, who was killed during the course of this shootout. The indictment reads, the images below show defendants Jones and Lindsay and co-conspirator 2 firing their guns at TB's black Escalade. And the filing includes surveillance photos of what appear to be the suspects seemingly firing their guns toward the gas pumps. And by the way, you can see it's daylight in these photos. So at a gas station in the middle of Beverly Hills, firing at gas pumps. What a brazen attack, let me tell you. The indictment charges the 5 named defendants and the 5 alleged co-conspirators with violation of U.S. Code 1958, which is use of interstate commerce facilities in the commission of murder for hire. It's part of the statute dealing with racketeering. And because someone was killed during the course of this situation, they face life in prison if they're convicted. And before he was arrested in Broward County, Florida, it appears Durk may have been trying to leave the country. The affidavit says the FBI received notifications from U.S. Customs and Border Protection, CBP, showing that Banks had been booked as a passenger on 2 international flights, a one-way flight from Miami to Dubai, United Arab Emirates, connecting through Doha, Qatar, scheduled to depart the evening of October 24th, and a one-way flight from Fort Lauderdale to Switzerland.
Okay, but when did he book them? Okay, so boom, it says shortly after making these arrests and executing the search warrants on October 24th, the FBI received notifications from the U.S. Okay, so did he book it the same day? Because if he booked the same day, boom, that's guilty. But if it was pre-planned, maybe like 2-3 days before, then woo, you know what I'm saying? They executed the search warrants on the 24th, so they went and made arrests and they searched the homes on the 24th. When did he book these flights? And then the fact that he booked 3 multiple flights, I mean, it really just depends on who was going on those flights and why he booked them. Because booking flights don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? I could book a flight here and there, and one of these flights could be for my brother, the other flight could be for my mother, and I could be going somewhere like it. You know what I'm saying?
Connecting via New Jersey, also scheduled to depart the evening of October 24th, but Banks did not board either flight. At approximately 6:40 p.m. Eastern, the FBI received an additional CBP notification that Banks had been booked as a passenger on a private plane departing Miami and destined for Italy, scheduled to depart at approximately 9 p.m. Eastern. At approximately 8 p.m. Eastern, Banks was arrested by law enforcement in the vicinity of the departing airport. So you might be looking at that and saying, well, that's pretty bad evidence. That shows consciousness of guilt. He's trying to flee the country. Well, I had a chance to speak with who I mentioned before, celebrity criminal defense attorney Bradford Cohen about this case, and he says he might not be buying that Durk was trying to flee.
I make a couple different things of that. So the first part of that is all the countries that he has, that Dubai is going to extradite you, Switzerland's going to extradite you. These countries are going to extradite. You know, the only places that don't extradite are like you go to Vietnam, you go to Morocco. There's certain countries that don't extradite, like strictly don't extradite. All these other countries, even if they don't have a treaty with the U.S. for extradition, they're going to extradite because they rely on the U.S. for money. They rely on the U.S. for support. Switzerland, especially. Italy will deport you in about 10 seconds. They'll extradite you in 10 seconds. So I don't make much of whether or not he was going to escape and flee the country. I think more than likely, and sometimes this happens, when it was unusual that there were so many booked, right? What's not unusual is sometimes where an individual doesn't know whether or not there's a warrant out for their arrest. And I've seen this before happen in the past, where some associates get arrested. And in order to see whether or not they have a warrant, because that's not public knowledge, whether or not they have a warrant, they'll book an international flight and it'll red flag them. And then they'll get a call from the FBI or their lawyer will get a call and they'll say like, hey, your client's red flagged. They're trying to leave the country. Just so you know, they're under investigation or XYZ. And you find out information you wouldn't necessarily find out. Now, I don't know if that's the case here because there were so many that were booked.
There's so many things you just don't know. Like, what? I didn't know that. But I mean, I guess that's a way of finding out, or calling the fucking police and asking them yourself, do I have a warrant? You know what I'm saying? What was I about to say? Dang, what was I about to say? Oh, yeah, I've only left the country once, but when I left the country, you have to give your passport and ID literally like on this side in the United States. You have to give it maybe like 2-3 times. Then when you get there, another like 10 times. So it's like, bro, even if he made it to Italy, bro, he'd be back within the next day, bro, because it's like they gonna check your name in the system 10 times before you even touch the soil. So it's like, yeah, man, you can really fight that in court.
But I have seen that before in the past.
So for now, Lil Durk is locked up without bail. He'll be extradited to California. These issues will come into play about whether or not he should be granted pretrial release. And I will tell you, there has already been fallout from the indictment and arrests. 2 towns in the Chicago area that have recently given Durk keys to their respective villages, Bellwood, Illinois, and Broadview, Illinois. Bellwood's mayor said he wouldn't take back the key until the legal process played out, but Broadview's mayor said the opposite. She withdrew the accolade. Reporters also questioned Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson about Durk, who made contributions to Johnson's campaign, and reporters wanted to know if he would denounce Lil Durk and what he planned to do with the money.
You're asking me a question about someone who has worked to transform his life, who has admitted that he is on a journey to transformation and has not been charged with anything.
Oh, he's been charged with
has not been convicted of anything. And so if you're asking me if I should make a judgment on a black man before a full trial has actually come to fruition, I hope you do understand why it is not my position to determine the outcome of someone's life.
And Johnson,
I can respect that statement though. You know what I'm saying? As evil as this nigga may appear, he has not been convicted yet. Therefore, he cannot be proven. His accolades cannot be revoked yet. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like a lot of the times, bro, these companies, Disney, all that shit, they'll take your everything away from you just off the allegations. And you could, it's obvious. You could be accused of something and it not be true, like at all, like at all. It's just your name, bro. Your name brings a lot of attraction, so you automatically get accused of things that you weren't even in the room to do. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I respect the mayor's decision on that. At the end of the day, it's his decision. All right. Could it come and bite him in the ass a little bit? Maybe. I'm not gonna lie, but it shows a lot of respect that he has for people. Now once convicted, what he does after that, that's gonna play a key role. But I feel like, you know what I'm saying, I respect that decision. Like, guilty, you're guilty. What is it? Guilty to proven You're not guilty until proven. You're innocent until proven guilty. My fault. I said that so weird.
It never really seemed to answer the question about
innocent until proven guilty. What did I just say? Shut up.
To do with the hundreds of thousands of dollars that Durk had apparently donated. But one thing I should also mention, that this is not the only legal battle that Lil Durk is embroiled in right now. He's currently being sued by the mother of a rival rapper who claims that Lil Durk, King Von, and OTF were involved in her son's murder.
Oh.
FBG Duck was killed in 2020 when he was shot 16 times outside of a Dolce & Gabbana store in Chicago. Attorneys for his family claim a $100,000 bounty was put on FBG Duck's life. And his death led to the convictions of 6 gang members. And while the shooting appears to have been the result of a gang fight over territory, FBG Duck's mom says that OTF used that ongoing feud, plus the murder itself, in songs and music videos. In a song called Took Her to the O, released before his own death, King Von includes a scene where he's killing a man named Duck. The lawsuit states, as a result, Lil Durk, O-Block, OTF became international brands through social media and music streaming platforms and profited through podcasts, social media, and music streaming. In essence, they monetized the killing of FBG Duck. And that lawsuit names a lot of defendants, including Lil Durk, his rap collective Only the Family, and record labels associated with the rapper, including Sony and UMG Interscope. Well, this is the start of what could be a very long criminal case. We might not see a trial for 12 months, 24 months. We'll wait and see. But could plea deals be worked out? Could new evidence be revealed? Could cooperating witnesses come forward? We shall see. We'll continue to follow it for you here on Sidebar. But that's all we have for you right now. Thank you so much for joining.
I like how you put it all together, though. I respect this guy. Shout out to Jesse Weber. Hey. He's not getting bond, bros. And we all know from the Young Thug trial, it's been going on for 2 years, and he hasn't gotten bond. So Durk, he gonna have to sit in California jail for a long time, bro. I don't think they give him bail, bro. Murder for hire, I don't think they could give you bail for that, bro. He's gonna be in jail for a minute. Dang, bro, that's so crazy, bro. Don't do the crime, bro. Don't do the crime, bro, so you don't have to do the time. I forgot about the FBG Doug thing. But why wasn't he sitting down for that? Obviously, they must have not had enough evidence for that one. But, of course, they're going to include it into this one to make him look even more crazy to the jury. Oh, man, yeah, it's going to be it's crazy, bro. We going through so much. It all started, shit started trickling down, bro. It all started with R. Kelly, then it went to Diddy. Now it's Durk. Then it went to Tory Lanez and it's Durk. Who next? What's the next one gonna be? Shit. No. Then it was what's dude name? Damn. With the woman, nobody thought he was gonna be innocent. What is his name? I don't remember. It's too much to count, man. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, man. Shout out Jesse Weber. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. What do you think is gonna happen? What do you think the outcome is gonna be? I'm very curious to know what you guys are thinking. I think, in my personal opinion, you're done.
I know if I'm wasting my time. I know if you ain't crossing the line. I know if push gonna shove when shit hit the fan, you gon' stand on the dime. I don't see much why I don't post. Every now and then I'm always gon' ghost. If I'm sick and you fake like so, I'm hot like fire, come close my roast. I know you a bitch. I know you a op. I know you fool.